who's all jimmied up. Stay tuned.
I created Species Nutrition with one mission in mind: to provide bodybuilders and serious athletes with no-nonsense supplements that work. I put my name and reputation on every bottle of Species Nutrition products. If you want to be your absolute best, join the evolution. Standing here with my good friend Bruce from Legendary Foods, and they have done it again. Mac and cheese, 47 grams of protein, only 7 net carbs. I can't tell the difference between this and regular. I highly recommend you try this. I love it. Check it out at legendaryfoods.com.
Energy pouches are the wave of the future, and Underrated Muscles Locked In is first to bring it to you. With between 50 and 100 milligrams of caffeine per pouch, you can dial in the quick, clean energy and focus you need on the go. Simple, easy to use. Pop one between your cheek and gum to get you through your day, to get you through your workout. Code RX20, underratedmuscle.com. Get locked in today.
And we are back for another installment of Heavy Muscle Radio. Almost forgot what show we were doing. We're back again, and it is the month of December, and I'm here with the technician, Chris Aceto, as always, who's – what, you've been shoveling a lot of snow lately, huh?
Well, a little bit.
It's 85 degrees down here, so we don't have any snow, that's for sure. I forget, Chris, you know, how – it's cold in other places, you know. And
I know you do. When you're in Florida, I believe me. When I used to winter in Florida in the late 90s, never crossed my mind that it was snowing. Like my mother would call me and she'd say, "We're getting 2 feet of snow." And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, that's good."
It's one less thing I have to worry about.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, but you have to worry about snow removal. I mean, and you have all those buildings, and I mean, it's a headache. Do you have like several different like snow clearing crews? Is that how?
Yeah, I have 3 different people handling it.
Wow, that's a nightmare. Now, so you must be like one of these people who have to watch the weather. I hate having to watch the weather. I never know what the weather is. I don't even look.
Yeah, you don't care.
I don't care. It's always nice here. So.
Yeah, I have to keep an eye on it. Just people can slip and fall.
True. Do you are you responsible for shoveling Tucker Carlson's walk, or no? You don't have that. There's a referee here because he's right down the block from you, right?
He's two maybe he's about 30 minutes from here, but it's crazy. I had a connection with him through my paver.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, but it's not close enough.
Not close enough to ask
enough connection.
Oh, yeah.
He must just like. I don't know, hide out in that cabin.
Maybe his one of his kids watches like Heavy Muscle Radio or something like that.
The kids are homeschooled. You know that, right?
No, I know. I don't blame him actually. But you homeschooled for a while and then you gave up, right?
Yeah, we gave up. It just
it's tough. I don't know how to be honest with you. I don't know how you guys did it. It's got to be the hardest job in the world. I'm telling you.
We did it when it was like an outlier, when it wasn't popular, and people were like, "What do you mean? What is that homeschool?" Now I run into people. They're like, "Oh yeah, my kids are at home. I'm my wife's homeschooling." Or you can find in different areas now, like people, Dave, you do Mondays, I do Tuesdays. We know someone who does Thursdays and Fridays, something like that, where it's different parents, teaching 6 to 7, 6 to 7 kids rather than.
That's not a bad idea, actually.
Yeah.
Like, I can teach science. Someone else can teach English. Someone else does math. Right?
Yeah. Well,
I wonder if they ever did like a comparison to compare kids who were homeschooled to kids who went to public school and see like what the success rates of them are in terms of jobs and placement or college and stuff like that. I'd love to see like a comparison study. I'm sure they could do it.
Yeah, it's
retroactively. Because I would tend to believe that the homeschooled kids do better, both
I would
job placement, business, college acceptance, and all that.
Yeah, because I mean, public schools are they're a challenge.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like when you were, Dave, when you were in 7th grade or something, where your teacher could scream at you, sit down and shut up. Now there'd be a lawsuit. You'd get the guy suing me for falling in the snow, representing, the parent who said, Johnny was yelled at by the math teacher.
You can't even say no to a kid going to the bathroom. If the kid wants to go to the bathroom 600 times during one school day, you can't say no to them.
Yeah.
So these teachers are like have their hands. My father would say they're handcuffed. My father would never be able to teach in today's day and age. He would have quit probably.
Of course.
So he was complaining toward the end of his career where they were asking for lesson plans. He goes, lesson plans. He goes, I haven't written a lesson plan for 25 years. He's like, He's like, you want one now? He goes, I know it in my brain. I have them memorized. I said,
yeah, Dave, I know exactly where I was standing with Bob Gruskin, and I met him at Community College in New York. Community College in New York, is that where he's teaching? He's in the Bronx. Anyways, I met with him. I had to be like 19, and he was like flustered like crazy, and he'd just done grades, and he flunked everybody. And he told me, yes, and he told me he had the most worried look on his face, and he said that the intellectual curiosity and rigor of the students. So this was probably 1987. Was different from 10 years ago and 10 years ago prior to that.
Wow.
I'll never forget that. He said he told me that he was worried about like that decline continuing going forward.
Right. Yeah,
because he was big on education, and he was.
Yeah. No. Interesting.
And now I don't even know what he'd turn over in his grave with AI.
I was talking to someone about AI today, and what's interesting about AI is that, it pulls data from the web. And the problem is that the web is not always right. So if there's a preponderance of bad data in a specific subject matter, a lot of times you can get bad answers. And so I don't personally think that AI like ChatGPT is where you should be checking for like knowledge on diet, nutrition, supplements. Not yet. I think at some point it will get better. What I think that AI is really good for is searching for just like what's if you're looking like what is vitamin C, that kind of thing. It can give you general information. That it's also really good at writing things. Like if you want something written professionally, you could literally voice it into your notepad on your iPhone and take that voice, no matter how garbled and stuttering it is, and you can say, make this sound professional. And AI can do it in 3 seconds. It can turn it into the most elegantly written passage you can imagine. To me, that is like the most powerful tool that AI does right now. And I know other people create video and stuff like that. And that there are obviously that there's other stuff you can do with AI. I'm not saying that because in a creative sense, like music and graphics and stuff like that, it's also amazing. But as far as for people like us, like bodybuilders who are looking for knowledge, I don't know if I would trust it as much with diet supplementation stuff, but I would definitely trust it like to write things well and clean stuff up, and it has mastered that. That is like, to me, it's a miracle because think about if you want to sit down and write something to your lawyer or something like that, or write something that you might have to use in court, or even write something that, you have to, a letter to someone, a formal letter. I mean, it might take you, an hour to sit down and write this thing professionally, right? So that it's impressive. You can do it in 3 seconds now with AI.
I know.
It's incredible. It really is incredible. And, it's very good at formatting things too. So let's say you guys want to put together a diet plan for yourself, or even for someone that you might send it to. You can get all because I see guys, they they write things down like garbled, and they have like unorganized, and probably I'm sure the diets you send people are like that, scribbled down type stuff. AI can clean it up and make it look like put it in professional spreadsheets and all kinds of stuff.
I want it messy and authentic.
No, I know you do, but I'm saying for people who want to have like nicely, so that because some people pay a lot of money for coaching. By the way, Chris, I found out that I'm the cheapest coach out there. By the way,
yeah,
I'm officially the lowest priced coach. Even the kids who are in kindergarten who are coaching people, they make more money than I do. I'm grossly undercharged.
Dave, the people you coached other people. Those coaches charge more than you.
Yeah. I know. No, they charge a lot more. So, but I think that there's a lot of good tools for AI, but I don't think it's where we need to. Although I've seen, like I said, creatively, I think it's limitless. Really, I mean, I don't know who was talking about this, but they were saying that like the movie studio, like how like a lot of people are starting their own movie studios, like Robert De Niro, I heard started his own movie studio. There's a couple other like big actors. Because they're saying that, and I can see how this could be a possibility. They might not necessarily need to be actors anymore.
No, they won't be actors
because
go ahead.
AI is going to be able to create video with their own actors that you can make, and the most important part of the whole creative process will be the storytelling, because AI can't tell stories. I think that humans still have more creativity in terms of coming up with original storylines, but the actions and think about how much money it costs to film stuff authentically on location in places. AI can do that now for nothing, for free.
I think it was
crazy.
Two full years ago. Tyler Perry, he was expanding his. He's got his own studio.
Right.
Have you ever seen Tyler Perry's house in Georgia?
No, I haven't.
Google it. Get
crazy.
Up. I think it's got a landing strip. Anyways, when he saw what AI could do, he cut his budget down. I mean, I'm exaggerating, but he cut it it was just some crazy amount, because he realized that a lot of what he was building this new studio, that he was wasting his money.
Right. Interesting. Yeah, because that's the future. The future is going to be all AI. Here's this. Hold on. Hold on. Close this thing. Close this. Here we go. You can't get anything without ads anymore. $100 million mega home. Let's see if we can pull this up. There we go. I love the front one. That's
so I believe his studio is, near that. There's a landing strip, right?
Yeah. Pool. Crazy.
So he put a kibosh on the expansion of the studio, because he got so worried he may be wasting money.
I don't
obviously didn't put a kibosh on the house. Continued to build the house.
No. Yeah. Well, he still has the money, but yeah, I think that's going to change everything. What I would love, I've always been telling you, I always wanted to do I wanted to make my own cartoon, my own funny cartoons, and script it up. And I think we're almost there. I mean, I know we probably are there already, but I think we're almost there where it's easy enough where I can just write the script, upload it with descriptions of the characters, and probably have AI make the whole thing for me.
Muscle Fantasy Island. I already told you that.
That might be my future.
Right?
Muscle Fantasy Island.
You gotta
you're the best.
You gotta hire the lawyer who's suing me to represent you, so you don't get sued. To take the idea where bodybuilders fly in on the plane, the guy.
Well, Jake. Yeah. Jake Wood could be Mr. Rourke because he's nice and tall, and maybe Blackman could be Tattoo. Right?
There'd be a never-ending.
What's this?
Lodge of storylines.
That's right. We know a lot of stories. We've been around a long time. What's this guy Matt from Muscle Discord is alleging that some of the Olympians haven't been paid their prize money. I haven't heard that from anyone. Have you?
No, I haven't heard that.
Yeah.
People
I don't know if that's true. Maybe it's
people I work with got paid.
People you what about you helped a lot of people. They all got paid?
Yeah, I would have heard from it. I would have heard.
Yeah, I think you would have too.
Because they would have said, Chris, I can't give
it's
you
possible.
I can't give you my 40% cut. Oh, that's another coach. I can't give you my 40% cut if I wasn't paid.
It's possible that like maybe some bikini girls or some wellness girls didn't get paid. I don't know. Well, I put a text into the people who run it. I haven't heard back from anyone yet, so we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. Did you hear what Jay said about Andrew Jack?
I did.
Play it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think? Let's play it first, then you can give me your comments. Hold on.
Andrew Jack is Mr. Olympia all the way. As far as if he just he has all the tools. So is he going to be the next? Like, if I was a betting man, I would probably favor Andrew to come in and win the Arnold and Olympia in 2026.
Wow. Big news from Jay. Jay doesn't give out false compliments. You know that, right? So
yeah, he's biased.
Jay doesn't say anything he doesn't mean, though.
I felt
so. What do you? I mean, look, I know you help all these guys. It's hard for you to comment on that, but do you feel that there's a reality to that statement?
Well, I know. Andrew's been on a trajectory that is. I know every show that he's done. He had 2 disappointing Olympias, and those are obviously that's reality, and you can't blot those out. And I know why those were disappointing Olympias in terms of the way he looked. But if you just pull those 2 Olympias out, which sounds kind of ridiculous, but if you pull those out, his trajectory from the 2022 Olympia, the way he looked there to like the 23 Arnold, to the 23 Texas, to the 24 Texas, to the 25 Arnold. Remember, he was just third to Sampson and Derek this past Arnold. And that was a tremendous look. I thought he looked incredible there. And then now this Olympia. So his trajectory is
upward for sure.
Always improving. And
you made a very interesting comment to me about Derek. You said that Derek will do anything it takes to get as far as hard work to get in the best shape of his life. He'll do 100 hours of cardio a day.
Except Synthol, Dave.
Except Synthol. We're going to get to that in a minute, but let's see what Derek said about his plans for 2026.
like this was God telling me I needed to take a step away from the stage this year and just focus on family, business, and then coming back to defend the Olympia title next year. But that being said, I do plan to be attending these shows.
So he's taking off the whole year. He won't be doing the Arnold. He won't be doing the Pittsburgh again or New York Pro. He's waiting for the Olympia, which I think is probably a good move. He must feel very burnt out. What was have you talked to him about this and discussed this with him?
About not doing the Arnold?
About what his plans are for 26?
No, just the Olympia.
Okay. Yeah, I know that's what he's doing, but did you have any feedback, or was that his take on it?
Did I give him feedback?
Yeah. Did you say skip the year and just do the Olympia, or did he?
No, it was completely 100% understood after the Olympia where he got third, what shows he wanted to do and what he wanted to try to accomplish. And once he got over the finish line, I mean, honestly, Dave, if Arnold had first place 1.25 million, he would have passed it out.
Really? Okay.
Because he's also about, when you're Mr. Olympia, you want to keep that title.
Sure.
And it's hard to keep, obviously. Ramy couldn't keep it. Brandon couldn't keep it. Samson couldn't keep it. Hadi couldn't keep it. And Derek couldn't keep it. It changed hands all those times. It's hard to keep. So I know once he got through 2025, that was it, period. There was no second thought about trying to do a show earlier than the Olympia.
Right. Okay. I respect that decision on his part. I have to imagine his body is shot. I don't know anyone who's been able to accomplish what he did. And I don't know if there'll ever be another bodybuilder to do what he did again. Because people, you watch from the outside, you don't really, you can't appreciate what he did. But being a bodybuilder myself and going through the contest prep, and believe me, I got in shape pretty quickly, but it was still torturous. And your body just doesn't like to respond after a while. It just, you can get lean, you can do the diet, and it just resists. The fact that he got through all 3 shows and won all 3 is seriously a miracle. And I think that, he realizes if he keeps pushing his body to that degree, it might break down and he might have some problems. So I think what he's doing is smart. And yes, the money is great, but if he goes there and loses, like you said, Chris, he loses a lot of hype. And I think going into next year's Olympia as the Olympia champion, obviously is a better way to be for him because it gives him the whole year to rest. Most of these guys are going to probably compete more than once because they want to make money or for whatever the case is. Did we get a confirmation on Hadi doing that, Arnold?
I don't think so.
He kind of played around with it. He kind of hinted a little bit at doing it, right?
I believe so.
But I don't know if he's committed to it yet.
Yeah, I was calling you Derek. Dave, what I meant by he would not do the Arnold even if the prize money was higher. That's because he wants to focus on retaining the title. That's the mindset, and to make the improvements.
Yeah. This was kind of the Hadi cryptic message that I don't really know what it meant. He kind of is implying that possibly he might do it. It's pretty freaky to me, right? The old adage, Chris, he's Mr. Olympia in a tank top. Hadi's Mr. Olympia in a tank top and out of a tank top. Yeah, you're the Swami now. You seem to be the good prophet of predictors. Will Hadi be there?
I think Hadi will do my guess is he'll do the show. Yes.
Who could beat him? Who could beat him?
Andrew.
Right, possibly. If Andrew beats Hadi at the Arnold, that gives Andrew huge momentum. I know Cedric McMillan, may he rest in peace, doesn't believe in momentum, but I believe in momentum, and I think that would be huge for Andrew to I think that's going to be a good battle, actually. And it's funny because they have such a different physique. Those guys matching up on stage would be, imagine a top 2 call out, Andrew versus Hadi. It would look ridiculous. It would look kind of ridiculous. It would be like Arnold versus Arnold and Franco on stage almost.
Yeah, we may see. We may see.
The fans will love it. Arnold will love that, and that if Arnold sees that call out, who Arnold will be rooting for.
Well, it's going to be a fantastic show. You got Samson, Martin, Nick, Hadi, possibly Andrew.
I'm just going on the Olympia placings. Those guys are going to be top 2. To look out for. Doesn't mean they're going to be top 2, but it's more than likely they will be.
Yeah, more than likely. But you can't. You got Martin and Samson, and you got peaks and mis-peaks, and anything can happen.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think Hadi has something to prove, which always makes him very dangerous because I think he felt he should have won the Olympia. And I think he was a little bit off. So I think he's going to come back. He's going to try to pull like a Derek, right? When Derek last year didn't do well at the Olympia and then came back and destroyed everyone at the Arnold. I think Hadi's going to try to pull that off, except he might not have such an easy time with obviously.
But Dave, I'm as comfortable. I'm as comfortable as Andrew going. I'm as comfortable as Andrew going before the jury. I mean, the judges, as I am with my court case. I explained to you prior to our start.
Chris, for those of you who don't know, Chris is a snow clearage expert. If you need any experts to testify in any case you have of slipping on ice or snow clearance, Chris will be happy to be an expert witness in your case.
Yeah, and I don't.
I'm farming about that. He doesn't. All you got to do is feed him and fly him out there. He won't charge you.
Dave, I did that. I did the Overcome podcast, and being silly, but I was asked about science and bodybuilding, and I said, "Oh, I don't believe in science. I believe the earth is flat," because I think, to me, bodybuilding is more like experience and in art as much as it is science. So I poo-poo the science and say I don't believe the science at all. So it's consistent with when I'm being deposed from a lawyer asking me about weather patterns. I said I don't really believe in this.
Well, what's really funny is that it's funny. You guys must have been ringing this weekend because I went out to eat with a bunch of these bodybuilder guys here in the Cape Coral, Fort Myers area, and we all went out to eat and we had a great dinner at the steakhouse. And they were asking me, about, because they're coaching people too. These guys, they kind of just started, last.
That's how you found out they charge more than you, I'm sure.
That's exactly how I found out. And the guy who's been only coaching people 2 years charges more than I do. So he was like, what do you think is the secret to becoming a great coach? And I said, well, it's a two-tiered. I said, it's knowledge, which you need to learn the basics. I said, and the best way to do it is obviously I have a course called The Secrets to Becoming a Diet Guru. It's an 8-hour course. You can take it online. It's online now. I said you can go there and do it. Sometimes I do it in person live, but it's 8 hours. You can watch it over and over and over again. You get a 100-page manual I wrote. That can educate you. I said, but that's only one part of the equation. The second part of the equation is experience. And you can't rush experience. You just have to get it, I said. And you have to. Now, can one overcome the other? No. The best combination is to have both, I said. However, there are people like first of all, take my Italian grandmother, for instance. I said, she would make the greatest food of all time. And if you asked her what was in there and what the dosages of, and how much of this and how much of that, and ingredient lists, she couldn't do that. She'd think you're out of your mind. She just throws stuff in there. I said, that's Chris Aceto. I said, Chris Aceto doesn't believe in science. He's so good at what he does. And he's been doing it so long, and his experience is so great. I said that it supersedes anything else. I said, but there's no one else out there who fits that category. I said, so you can't use him as an example.
Thank you, Dave. David,
how many grams of carbs, this and that? He just says, yeah, do this, do that, do this, and it works every time.
Dave, thank you. And I think I told you this. I was with my son at the Olympia, and someone said something like, I said, I was so tired. I said, do this, whatever. And the guy said to me, it kind of bothered him, the person looked really, really good. And ended up looking really, really good. And whatever I told him, it just set off an internal, a fight with me. And with, I could feel his just getting angry at me. I'm like, wow. And he had asked me why. And I was like a deer in headlights because I didn't know why.
You just know it works. That's all.
Yeah. And Dave, I knew, I just knew at that point, this is what I think is best at this point. Right. And it was different than what bothered him is that it was different from 2 other previous shows.
Oh, okay. I got you. And so he wanted to know what your reasoning was why you did that. And my son is a very good read of people. Mm-hmm. And there was a lot of tension.
and
Right.
I didn't know how to answer, and I didn't want to just say something just to give an answer, but I was like trying to come up with an answer, and I was like a loss of words, and I was Freed interjected and said, it's just, in the nicest way, it's just, his experience. He's got a lot of experience.
Right.
And I looked at him and to my son, I said, oh my gosh, thank you. Yeah. And I said,
rescued by your son. But it's true. And you know what? There are some competitors out there that need to know the answers why. And that's why I get people who come to me, because they know that they're going to get the answer why from me. But then there's other people that don't even want to know why. They want to just listen to you mindlessly and have you guide them through their journey. And those people do really, really well with you,
Yeah.
And that's why I always say, you know what, there's too little coaches out there. So none of us are competing, for this. There's plenty of people out there for all of us to make money, and to find the right people to resonate with your type of coaching, And so there's no lack of people to. So if you don't have, in other words, if you're a coach and you don't have any people to coach, it's just because you're either not a good marketer of yourself, or you just haven't coached enough people yet, because it's word of mouth. That's how you get clients with coaching. So number one, if you're trying to become a coach, don't do the Chris Aceto method, and don't do the ivory tower geeky method. The best method is learn the science.
I agree.
And then start coaching people,
and
get experience. And it's going to take you probably 2, 3, 4, or 5 years before you become really good at it, and probably 10 years before you're a master at it. And because they say it takes 10 years to be a master at anything you do. And Chris Aceto, as good as he is, he still can't tell if people are putting PMMA in their muscle groups. And he doesn't. Matter of fact, he doesn't even know what PMMA is. So.
I don't know what it is, but I know that Derek Lunsford did not use it. So,
yes.
The problematic part, I get defensive. I don't get defensive when people talk about me ever, but I get defensive when people don't tell the truth about people I coach. I like the people generally I coach, because I probably, like anyone else who coaches someone, you see their hard work. Or you get to know them, or both. And so, of course, someone sent me a video today of accusations about Derek Lunsford, and his name was mentioned over and over and over and over. And I will tell you that that's a lie. Let
me play this clip.
Can I make it any more explicit that that's a lie?
Well, let me play the clip, and then I want to give my answer. I want to give my.
You want me to interject every time Derek's name is mentioned and say,
yeah.
Since I'm in the very lawyer-like mood, Dave, after doing a deposition for 3 hours.
I don't remember.
I hope you can do something about this corruption, because it's so wrong and corrupt. This can make mainstream national news. It is a scandal. I haven't showed this.
Hold on, Dave.
Yep. I'm committed to getting the story out.
Mainstream national news.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do the whole thing. Nothing is making. Arnold could decide to compete again, and it will not make mainstream national news.
No. He's an over dramatized. All right, let me finish the clip. It's a short clip.
Dr. Fernando and Tamer are both arrogant, and what they have been doing is very wrong. They are helping Olympia champions cheat with PMMA fillers to win the Olympia so they can benefit together. Natalia's procedure is 100% confirmed, and there's a very, very high possibility that Derek Lunsford did the procedure too. Again, allegations.
I object.
No proof of that.
I object.
Yeah. He says he first accuses him, then he said, well, allegedly. But
no.
He already accused him.
High probability.
Yeah, that's accusing. Yeah. All right, let's
to Derek Lunsford. Next, I'm going to send you videos, links showing Dr. Fernando with Derek Lunsford and Tamer. And I'm sure you can't really see there. And also video links showing Natalia go inside the clinic with the doctor. Okay. You can find what Dr. Fernando does on.
All right, yeah, so that's enough. I don't need to play this.
Let me ask you this.
So he's a kid. Let me just say this first, and then I'll give you a thing. So PMMA is what Rich Piana put in his arm. It's like a filler. It never goes away. It's probably, I have to believe it's very dangerous because it's something that the body does not eat up. It stays in there. Obviously, there could be immune reactions. So no one really knows what the long-term negatives on it are. He's saying that he has some whistle. I couldn't play because I don't want to hear him say the word whistleblower because that says the word whistleblower 600 times. But some guy who supposedly is in Brazil sent him an email with saying that these people were getting these procedures done at this clinic in Brazil where they're injecting this PMMA filler into people's muscles to make them bigger. All right. Hardly a scandal. Hardly anything original, Chris. People have been injecting synthol and taking site injections of regular steroids since the beginning of time. So I don't see, how this is scandalous in any way whatsoever. It's typical bodybuilder. And we don't even know if it's true. This is all, he's trying to make this. He thinks he's like the Candace Owens now of Instagram. But, what's your take on this?
I only care that to come to the defense of Derek. Period.
And
he, whatever the thing
allegations.
The allegations. It's not allegations. It's accusations.
It is accusations.
I don't care how many times you use the word alleged. It doesn't mean you're not making the accusation. It's even worse because it muddies it up, like it clouds it up and muddies it up and implies that because I use the word allegedly, it makes it true. Okay. There's an accusation directly against Derek like 5 times. Did Derek use it for the Arnold? Did Derek use it for the Olympia? No.
Yeah. I asked you a question like on the phone earlier, and I said,
what? And you know what, Dave?
What?
I'll go as far as this. Derek will be at his all-time best at the Olympia, with the exception.
Oh, I'm sure.
And period.
Well, what's interesting is that, first of all, no one accused Derek of looking enhanced at the Olympia. I didn't hear one. Maybe some people didn't think he should have won the Olympia, but no one said, "Oh, he has suspicious looking body parts." Not one person said that. That's number one. Number two, I asked you because they're trying to. Matt is trying to insinuate that because he was in Brazil with all those guys. By the way, his coach obviously has used this PMMA. The training coach guy, because he did an Instagram video, which doesn't mean Derek used it. I asked, why was Derek in Brazil? And you gave me a very logical answer, which is, I'll let you repeat it.
Money.
He got paid.
You asked me why I was in Brazil. I get spit it out in 2 seconds. Money.
Yeah. He got paid to go there. Why wouldn't he? He's Mr. Olympia.
If Derek travels close to a show, I've told you before, I said, Derek will do anything to win. I said, to get him to move from where he's comfortable in Tampa, close to a show, you have to pay him pretty darn good.
Right. And we know the Brazilians are very generous. They throw around the money very easily there. That's why a lot of guys go there. There's guys who live there now who are getting paid by Brazilian companies because bodybuilding is a big sport there. It's like the Middle East. It's like the number 2 sport there, probably behind soccer, which they call football. And I don't think it's unusual for Derek to be there. Now, as far as Nathalia Coelho, I think it's also not fair to be alleging that she did this as well to her body just because she won the Olympia. This woman has worked her ass off. I know her personally. She's worked her butt off. And you know what? The truth of the matter is that, Chris, that if anyone did use any artificial enhancements How would that be any different than the fillers people put in their body at the plastic surgeons, the breast implants, the butt implants, the site injection oils, the anabolics that they locally inject, the growth hormone, the peptides they put in? Why is this such a scandalous story? And what is the big deal if Tamer and his brother know the people who own the clinic? I don't understand how that's a problem. His brother Tarek is not a head judge. He's one judge on a panel. He's certainly not going to risk his reputation on picking people that he brings to this clinic. Okay, I know people who go to a stem cell clinic in Mexico. I refer people there all the time because I know the owner, Danny, and he's a good guy and he does great work there. Does that mean that I'm biased to these people because they go to the stem cell clinic? No. It's the whole thing seems like a real hack job, and they're really trying to devalue these two individuals who won the Olympia, Derek and Natalia. And I seriously, I don't see anything wrong with anything that they did, whether they did this particular procedure or not, because it obviously was not evident enough to the judges for them to be marked down. I've seen judges mark people down because they said there was synthol or their shoulders were shot up too much. We've seen it happen, Chris, a million times. As a matter of fact, we've pointed that out in people, and people have accused us of causing them to lose a show because we pointed it out.
Dave, you know Derek shot up his legs between Pittsburgh and the Olympia. Come on.
But it's just interesting that after the fact, everyone now all of a sudden that people are starting to accuse, or not people. This one guy is trying to accuse Derek of enhancing his physique with this stuff. And like I said, even if he did, who the fuck cares? If you want to ruin your physique, go for it. If it's apparent on stage, you're going to get marked down. You know, I think that trying to devalue the fact that Natalia Coelho won the Olympia and beat Sarah, who I love her physique too, she was a little off, I think is terrible. Why would anyone want to make this woman who worked her butt off, you know, and has been in the sport for 10 years now at the highest level? Why would they want to take away the title from her, like, you know, or take away the glory of winning the title and beating a reigning champion? I don't get it. People love to tear people down. I hate this negativity that goes on social media. I love the internet. I love the fact that things are stories come immediately live. I like to report stuff like that. But at the same time, there's a hell of a lot of negativity on there, and people just love this misery, and it's really disgusting. It really is disgusting. I think I lost Chris. I think I was off on such a rant that Chris disappeared. But it's true. You know, we have way too much negativity, and people are always trying to break the latest and greatest, you know, scandal. And to be honest with you, enhancement, the word enhancement, and I hope Chris comes back because I'd like his feedback on this. Enhancement is the name of the bodybuilding world. It's a beauty pageant with enhancement. And what do we try to do? Enhance our bodies and the look of our bodies to create an image that we think is the ideal image, so that the judges will say that's the best physique on stage. And people use a lot of different, you know, tools in that tool chest. Like I said, women use breast implants. Men get gynecomastia surgery. Some of these wellness girls get butt implants, Brazilian butt lifts. Some people use site injection oils, or they site inject the anabolic steroids they use. They use steroids and growth hormone and peptides to enhance their physique. You know, they train hard in the gym. You know, they get a pump backstage to make the arms and their body look artificially enhanced when they go out on stage. There's a million different things that people do. And you know what? Some of them are kind of dangerous and some of them are not. I don't condone the use of this PMMA stuff because it is dangerous. Anything that stays in the body like that, I think can be construed as dangerous. And I don't think people should be using it. But if I can't tell you've used it and you've used it and enhanced your body part in a certain way and it looks natural to me or it looks, you know, like reasonable, I don't think the judges are going to mark you down for it, because that's what bodybuilding is about. It's about enhancing. It's being an artist. There are good artists and there's crappy artists, unfortunately. You see some of these people who do these fillers on their face. Some of these people look great. Some of these women, they look beautiful with a little bit of here, a little bit there, a little Botox there. Others look like some kind of creature from the Black Lagoon, as they say. And there's Chris. I've been giving a rant for the last 10 minutes. Where have you been?
The truth hurts.
The truth does hurt.
That was the horse.
Marcella?
No, that was. Can you see my screen? That's Derek.
No. Oh, he got back to you. Okay.
It's saved under Derek. Isn't that funny? It's saved under Derek Dumore, which means I told you we're doing. And so, as I was saying, lies, 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 lies. So you can retract the stupid allegedly, or the innuendo, or the accusations, or the idea, and you don't have to preface it with alleged. You don't fucking know, and you're lying. That's my answer to Muscle Discord. Take that to the bank.
Yeah, I think that
that's Derek calling me and telling me, period.
Yeah. Well, you know what the issue is? These guys. I don't know if you watched the whole video. I mean, this guy Matt was making it seem like this quote whistleblower. He mentioned the word whistleblower by the way 600 times. I told you it's driving me crazy. This whistleblower was worried that he was going to be killed. He was worried for his life. He blew the whistle on this scandal. It's like saying that the grasshopper, right? The grasshopper and the ant and the grasshopper screwed around during the summer and didn't collect all his acorns, and everyone's like, "Oh, really?" He always does that, though. He always does that. So, bodybuilders enhance. When you were talking there, I was explaining
what it is doing is it's an accusation that's a lie, right. And you're making an accusation based on nothing. Right. It's based on zero. And it's not true. And you're discrediting the current Mr. Olympia as using something. And you're not only that, but you're saying it's going to be a calamity, a mainstream media, right. CBS, NBC, and, CNN are going to show up at Derek Lunsford's house with microphones tomorrow and ask him, "Can you squeeze your pecs?" We and Lee Labrada, Lee all agree that when you touch your pecs, there's no striations. So it must be that, and your legs were the biggest on stage. So it must be that you were in Brazil the same time that the guy who trains you made a video. Guess what? You are wrong when it comes to Derek Lunsford, which means you're lying, allegedly. You're lying. You're not telling the truth, and you should retract it. But you won't retract it, period.
Yeah, no, he won't. He won't, because he loves the drama. And like I said, this is hardly a scandal in the bodybuilding world that, people are actually enhancing themselves. Just take away the fact that he mentioned two Olympians, Mr. and a Miss Olympia, which he did that for obviously shock value. But let's say there are people doing this procedure. It's no shock. And like I said, enhancement is the name of the game from day one. Everyone enhances, okay? It's whether you can tell that they're enhancing in some way or not. I think everyone knows by now that bodybuilders use anabolic steroids and growth hormone, right? So that's a form of enhancement. Is that scandalous? No, because they've been doing it for years. All right. I don't think it's anything. Once again, I think he's blowing the story out of proportion. He's trying to make it seem like the El Gunti brothers, who are good guys, are like, have some kind of like scheme going where they're, bringing only the people who are going to do well on stage to this clinic, and then they're fixing shows to make sure that they win. It's such a load of crap. You know, I'm so sick of hearing this guy already. You know, I got a headache from him already, and I don't even want to respond to him. But I feel that he puts out such negative information that it has to be addressed.
Because you're videoed in a room with people. You can't. Some people will make the jump that you are endorsing something, and the example is people with supplement companies ask me to like be in rooms. We'll get some footage with the athlete. I'm not going to say which one, but for the Olympia, and I asked, "What are you going to do with the footage?" They said, "We're going to put it on a website. It's a supplement website." And I said, "That implies like there's an implication.
You're endorsing,
I'm endorsing your products. I'm not endorsing your products.
Right.
I have nothing to do with your products. I have no loyalty to your products. So I don't want to be around at all for fun stuff, for candid stuff, for just everyday hotel room stuff, or if I go to the gym for gym stuff, I'm out. That's not what I'm there for." So people do make that link. So just because Derek is in a room with Pacho, who had this stuff done to his pecs, doesn't mean he had it done to his pecs.
Right. Well, it's also, you know, it would be one thing if Derek was on stage and everyone said, "What was that huge lump on his lat?" or "What was that huge thing in his shoulders?" and that didn't look real. And then this story came out. Now you have a little bit of like, well, causing it. Well, we were trying to figure out what was causing this problem. And this could be a potential, you know, answer to the question. No one questioned anything about Derek ever on stage. Like I said, maybe people didn't think he deserved to win because his physique wasn't the best on stage. And that's their own opinion. But no one questioned about anything about his body looking suspicious. So this is just completely unfounded. And I'm not going to address it anymore. I did, however, get a response from, I'm not going to say who, but on the Olympia team there, one of my contacts, and they told me that the only people, Chris, that haven't been paid as far as they know is the people who haven't filled out the paperwork properly. So I guess there's tax forms, Chris, you know, they have to fill out for them to take taxes out, and you're not going to get paid. So if any of you guys out there who haven't been paid, or girls, and you haven't filled out all the paperwork that they need, I would call the Olympia office and just.
What did we talk about, Dave, before I came on the show? We talked about me paying people. I said I'm the fastest payer on the planet because I have to be able to call people. Like if I call someone right now, they will, no matter what, they will drop everything. They'll charge me for it, but they will go. If I have an electrical issue, heating issue, leaking issue, plumbing issue, any type of issue, people will run, because I told you before we started, I got a big job tomorrow, kind of big job tomorrow. And I told the guy, come by my house at 4:30. We talked about this before the show, so you can be paid. The people who do not get paid is the people who don't fill out a W-9 for me. I don't know what they expect.
That's simple. Yeah.
I'm not going to declare it. I mean, I'm not going to have the IRS come knock on my door, you know. And I tell people all the time. They say, "You still haven't paid me." I said, "It's the third time I'm asking for the W-9.
Yeah. There's one thing you can say about Jake Wood. The guy pays people. He pays people probably too much. You know that. We say that all the time.
Dave, my point is the paperwork. The paperwork. You have to have your paperwork, you know.
Mm-hmm. I agree 100%. So guys, fill out your paperwork and get it in. Matter of fact, I pay my manufacturers so quickly, Chris, that they're like, usually, the manufacturers will give you net 30, net 60. I'm like, I just here's your money. I don't want to owe you anything. Just get my product finished as quickly as possible, please. And that's how I do it, because I don't want to owe anyone anything.
When Dave Palumbo picks up the phone, they have to have the comfort level that, okay, well, if we need to, or if you have to be demanding and say, listen, you have to play that card sometimes. I'm the guy who pays right away all the time. I need this product now.
Yeah. I'd done it with my fulfillment warehouse. They lost some product of mine, and they were like trying to play it off. I'm like, listen, do I owe you any money ever?
Yeah.
Am I the best payer you got? Am I your biggest
I know this about contractors. They are owed money by a lot of people, and it adds up. So just like when you're contracting out for manufacturing supplements, big players still owe them a lot of money, I'm sure.
Yeah.
People always drag in paying their bills.
Yeah. Well, I hated that that was the one thing I really didn't like about muscular development. Bleckman was the worst at paying people. He was always dragging his butt. I'm like, Steve, just pay these guys the money. I said, because it makes us look bad. I said, if you don't pay these people on time. And this is when business was good. This is not at the end when Steve was.
Why would he, Dave? Why? He did have why would he?
No, because he didn't. He's like, I'm making interest on the money. Like he wanted to hold it to the very last minute,
Yeah.
And I said, I'll sign the checks for you. This is ridiculous. He'd have like a stack of like invoices to pay on his desk. His desk, the papers were so high on his desk that you couldn't even see him behind the papers. You come in and be, Steve, you in here? He'd be like, yeah. He'd stick his hand up over the papers. That's how the high the papers were. So pay people. Believe me, people respect it when they get paid. But for the Olympia, I completely respect that. You got to fill out those tax forms, and I look. Whenever I hear someone say Jake hasn't paid someone, I'm like, I don't believe you. So because I know the guy is good for the money. Different story with the Masters Olympia because that was a promoter in Japan, and you know what? Jake paid everyone for that guy, and he didn't have to do that. That tells you what a good guy he is. So no one's going to say that Jake hasn't paid any competitors. Okay, I'm not going to believe that one. That's an old wives' tale there. And that's not me. That's not me defending the Olympia because I don't defend people who are not telling the truth. But Jake does not owe people money, and I can promise you that. All right. Well, this whole show is like a bunch of scandalous stuff we talked about. We didn't even talk. Well, there was no shows to really review. Although there was a.
You know what? That's what people love. Scandal.
Yeah, I know they do. There was an Asian show in Taiwan.
What was the scandal there?
Nothing. The 212 was won by Qing Che Lin from Taiwan, China. So congratulations. I guess Taiwan, is that a part of China now? What are they calling it? Taiwan, China? I thought they're their own country. Hong Kong is part of China. I didn't know that Taiwan was.
I don't know. Maybe political to call it that. Who knows?
Yeah. Classic physique won by Jun Sung Seo. So those. Now, winning these shows now, Chris, as you know, with the new rules, doesn't immediately qualify you for the Olympia. Although in 212 it will. Not in the Classic. You have to get enough points to get there. So,
what do you need for total number of points?
Well, I don't know. I guess it's the high point, the total, the whatever it is. I forget how many of the. It's got to be like the top. What is it? The top 10 or 15 point getters.
Mm-hmm.
Women's figure, Jennifer Zeinert from Germany won. They had a whole big show there. I wonder why they don't do open there. They should do open. Let's see what's on the schedule. I think we have a show next week, don't we?
I don't even know. Is there a show next week?
No, I'm wrong. I think I'm wrong. No, I think we're done. Hold on. No, I don't see it anymore. The schedule for next year has come out. Oh, this is the 26th schedule I'm looking at. So the Arnold is going to be March 5th through the 8th weekend. Fuad show in Detroit will be March 14th. So that'll be the weekend after the Arnold. And then the March 27th weekend will be the Arnold UK. So I know a lot of guys are doing both, right? The UK and I mean, you might as well do the Fuad show too. Why not? It's all three shows. That's what I would do.
Call it the Triple Crown.
New York Pro is going to be May 8th. They're switching, by the way, the New York Pro and the Pittsburgh weekend.
Yeah.
So New York will be May 8th, and then Pittsburgh will be the weekend after that, May 16th. I think I'm going to hit New York this year because I have my kids on the weekend of the Pittsburgh. Last year I went to Pittsburgh. I didn't go to New York. So
Pittsburgh, Dave. They'll be easy to handle.
Yeah. And Toronto's June 13th. Bader told me they're moving the Dubai show to 3 weeks after the Olympia this year.
Oh, wow.
And the Olympia, as you know, is in September. So that's going to be a good show. He hasn't confirmed prize money yet. That I wanted to see how much prize money he said they haven't figured it out yet.
He'll get the lineup for sure. He'll get the top 5. He'll get a big commitment from.
Yeah, if you put that after the Olympia, these guys are going to want that. Whatever, it might be $200,000 this year.
He'll get a killer lineup for sure.
Yeah. I think it's a smart move to move it after the Olympia because over the summer it was kind of like in limbo, just hanging out there, and I think that was the reason they weren't getting the lineups.
Yeah,
because the money was great.
Yeah, that is the exact reason they didn't get the headliner lineup is because it's in a weird period where you try to hold. You try to do something coming off an Arnold, and you don't want to do something coming off the Arnold because if you just came off the Arnold, you probably wanted to just like hold out for the Olympia.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. Totally makes sense. So that's going to be that. I don't know what the Olympia is going to be once again September 24th through the 27th. That's going to be at the host hotel for that will be the Palms. Did you see that Dana White won't play at the Palms anymore? He won't hold any
why?
MMA fights there because he won like 15 million gambling there or something like that, and they banned him from gambling. Can you believe it? They had the nerve to tell Dana White he can't gamble at the casino anymore. He's like, oh really? He said, now there'll be no more MMA fights there. There'll be no UFC there.
Right?
What a bunch of idiots. I didn't know he was such a big gambler. Did you?
He's another Mainer in the summertime.
Oh, he comes to Maine? I didn't know that.
He spent in his childhood, all his summers, and
that's funny.
I forget where he is. He goes up to my God, Dave, it's like 200 people.
Really?
You know what it is? I think I saw somewhere he likes it because he can just there's barely a downtown, but nobody bothers him.
Right. I thought you were going to say to me he stays at one of your. No,
I would bother him if I knew where he was. And Tucker Carlson, I'd bother Tucker Carlson.
I could see you and Tucker having like dinner and stuff like that.
I'm trying to figure out where Tucker Carlson flies into.
You and Tucker have like a very similar like sense of humor too. I noticed like very sarcastically, quietly, obnoxious.
Yeah, we have a pompous streak. We're aware of, and we got an anger streak.
Yeah. But you play dumb at first. You know how he goes, really? I didn't know that. And then he comes out with all this like data, to show you that you're wrong.
Tucker may actually have to do a big show on Derek's shot up pecs and legs.
There you go.
It's mainstream, and
I think we should get Geraldo Rivera to do the investigation.
Derek may have to fly into Maine.
Yeah.
And Derek, you can stay at my house, and we'll drive up to Tucker's, and Tucker's can do a whole expose.
Derek, he can do. They can get a physician in there. Maybe Joe Rogan could get someone to examine Derek's muscles. Maybe they can get Chris Cormier in there. He seems to be an expert at spotting site injection and jimmying up things. Right? He thinks that Natalia Coelho's legs didn't look real. So
let me see if Chris is around.
I'm going to tell you something about Natalia Coelho's.
Let me ask. Let me.
You remember?
He texted me back right away. Do you think Derek's lying to me about?
Natalia Coelho won. I forget what year she won the nationals. She won it in figure, and she had these crazy striated quads. And everyone told her, "Listen, you won figure, but you got to do women's physique because your legs are insane." And she was like 19 at the time.
Yeah.
I mean, and this is the woman they're accusing of shooting her legs up. Just leave her alone. She won the Olympia, for God's sakes. I don't know what these people want to do. People just love misery and negativity, and it's just too many negative people out there.
Palumbo selling allegedly fake Fiberlize.
That's right. Listen, I told you when you were talking to Derek, I said that bodybuilding is a sport of enhancement. And on that note, as we say every week here at Heavy Muscle Radio,
the truth hurts.
We'll see you next week.